Okay. Oh Lord. Well, I mean, here we go. So I've been sitting here for the past 20 minutes, I guess putting it off, but also just looking at how homely I look. And I mean, I feel busted, but at the same time, it's whatever. But no, welcome to another episode of the BIYG podcast. I am your host, Blue, not my real name. Um, yeah, I hope everyone's having a good day, whatever day it is. Hope you're having a good week. Hope that your week is gonna be blessed and prosperous and convicted, all of those good things, because we need correction. We ought to pray for judgment, and we ought to seek being better and not just bigger. But today I do have two topics. One that came when did it come to me? I forget how it came about, but it just did. And then another, do your best. There was some scriptures that I was reading, and it basically instructed us to do our best, but also, you know, with that, with doing your best, a lot of us use, and my grandmother used to say this, some people use God knows my heart as a it's not a filler, but it's just as a excuse to keep doing wrong. But no, I do believe that whenever you are doing your best and whenever you spiritually develop and you mature, you begin to understand, okay, now it's time to take it serious, and so slip ups don't occur as often. It may be a year before you have a slip up, and we don't hope for those, but let's be realistic. We're human. It may be 5 years. You shouldn't, I feel like once you've developed and you've aged in the spirit and you spent time with God, it won't be every other day. It won't be every week. Now, if it is every week in the beginning, or even if you do backslide into a situation where it is, that just takes the responsibility of going back to God and just trying to get things right. But we are instructed to do our best. So, yes, spiritually undeveloped and do your best are the topics, I guess the titles. And Second Timothy is where do your best come from. But no, with being spiritually undeveloped, this came from me in my last video, well, the bonus video, where I was talking about the secrets to relationship. And what I meant by secrets to relationship, really coming to God and seeking more than just things. Because I do think that we have made that such a ritual, asking for something rather than just spending honest to God time with him. And it's just kind of like, girl, you wouldn't do that to your parents, your friends, or anyone that you love, so why do it to God? But no, and in that video I said something regarding how I see my father, and how it would have probably distorted my view of God if God didn't have his hand over me, because there's some things that happen that it would really make me look at, God, like, are you like this? Is he a representation of you and in your fullness? And he's not. But it's just, I'm glad that I'm able to see God for who he is to me. And to have been able to be, I guess, spiritually adopted. I guess that would be the lack of a better term or whatever. But no, this is, I guess, gonna be centered around grace. And not just grace, but there's things that we don't know. And so I know God isn't going to punish those for the lack of knowledge, but at some point I do think and believe that God will introduce you to certain things that you are not aware of. And not only at that point, but this goes for Christians and non-believers or whatever, because my thing is, we can't just speak to people who believe in God, and we just can't speak to people who don't believe in God. You got to get the whole, there's a whole, but we are to talk to everyone. And I mean, I believe in God, but I'm not perfect, and there's things that I'm being convicted on daily as well. And so it just is what it is, but I'm not going to let that stop me from showing the love of God and doing what I like to do. Like, I like doing this. It's more about me encouraging others, and I'm not talking about the kind of encouragement that deals with, oh, you're gonna get this blessing, you're gonna get that. I'm talking about the kind of encouragement that feeds souls and save people from themselves and save them from torment and depression and all of those other things. That's what I like to do. And I believe, honestly, God being in my life has really saved me from a lot of that. And so, when you're spiritually undeveloped, it's just like with any kid in real life. There's things that you have to be trained in, there's things that you don't know, but there's a parent, there's someone to make sure that you get this tutelage, you get this knowledge, you get this understanding and this wisdom. And so, all right, cool. For them, yeah, there's that kind of grace. And it doesn't matter whether you're physically a child or you're a grown person, an adult. Spiritually, you can still be a child, you can still be underdeveloped. And so, I believe that it comes a point in time where God is he's spoon feeding you, but then, like I said in the secrets to relationship, there comes a time where it's just like, okay, I've been doing these things and now it's time for you to do. And I do think that I have stepped into that season where it's like, all right, so you didn't know this and now you do know it, and so I'm going to start to pull back. And it's not to hurt you, it's to get you to grow up a little bit. And so I you have to be okay with it. You have to know that it's not that it's not to hurt me. It's not such a big deal. It's not a problem, but it is something that I need to get used to. I need to be able to do this alone, even though I'm not alone. I need to be able to chase after God for myself. And so I feel like I'm trying to get to the point, but I'm not getting to the point. It's centered around grace because I think there's so much judgment around what people should be doing and how they should be doing it, but there's not enough investment in people's lives and understanding where they are, like in the moment, who they are and why they are. Because we have to remember and understand God allows a lot of things to happen to us for a reason. And there's a lot of thorns that he doesn't take for a reason. It's for testimonies, it's for reasons beyond our understanding, it's whatever he desires. And so, you know, the thing about that is, always tend to your own thing. And really every message that I get is me tending to me, but I share it because I feel like it's important, and I feel like if it does help someone, that's fine. But I have to always look at what message is being relayed to my situation, and then, hope that other people will get their conviction, because I'm not going to sit here and point out one thing when God is not saying that one thing to another person. He may be saying something different, but that's where God, he speaks in different languages, in multitudes. And so it's best to stay general and then let God be direct. And that's just for my case. But I mean, yes, it's being spiritually undeveloped when you have people who they think they know God, and maybe they do have a better relationship with God. They start to cast those judgments off onto other people. Well, you shouldn't be doing this, and they think, oh, because, well, I've been matured and I've been beaten and God has done this for me, that you should be doing the same thing as well. You should be in the same position, you should have the same knowledge and the same tenacity, or whatever the case might be. But we have to remember, we're all at different paces, and you know what I'm saying. At some point, your conviction is not someone else's conviction. I mean, that just is what it is. And I think that's where do your best comes in, because not only do you need to be striving, but there are some people who don't know how to strive. They don't know what they're striving for. They don't know that they're doing anything wrong. And so it's less about, yes, we ought to show people the word and get them into the word, but some people don't even read the Bible. But we ought to be there for them in that moment. And I feel it's the same way God is. And then inevitably, eventually, once you start seeking God enough, then things will start to be revealed and things will start to change over time. And that's just where doing your best. And it used to be an issue growing up where people would say, well, trying is not enough sometimes. And I mean, well, it's always going to be enough. When you try, that's a posture of your heart. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. There's a difference between manipulation and true effort. But trying to live right, you ought to want to look like someone that God can be proud of. That's biblical. May not be this exact statement, but it is. And so to see that, it eases the mind. It eases my mind to know that, okay, I may mess up, but as long as I try, and as long as my heart's posture is correct and is right, and that I'm not using that as a what is it, like an excuse? Not, I don't want to say that, but it's something that just, it is what it is. As long as there is something that is real, and it's not just me saying anything to keep going back to the wrong and being like, I'm a work in progress. No, there's a difference between a work in progress and someone who just wants to live any kind of way. Now, do I believe I'm a work in progress? Yes, I like. It's not that I like to cuss, but I mean I cuss. And I mean, I like to watch my videos from the start because I was cussing a lot, and now I don't cuss that much. And I'm not going to say I don't still cuss, but then in other areas of my life, God is still working on me. And so, it's really in other areas where it's like, all right, I need a little bit more attention to that area. And I mean, I believe as long as I am doing my best, because I did at some part, I felt like, and I still kind of feel this, but it has to beat itself into my system that I need to try. That's it. Just keep trying, because you know what? 3 days without doing a certain thing, that's still success. That is still success. A week without doing a certain thing, especially when you've done it every day. We're talking about breaking addiction, especially when you've done something every day or every hour, you know, with girl, if you can go 2 days without it, I know God is proud of you. If you can go 3 days, girl, if you can make it to that 1 month mark, if you can make it to the 2 month, come on. I mean, it's the little successes. And I mean that this is not to praise backsliding or making mistakes, but God knows we're going to make mistakes, and the same forgiveness and grace and favor and mercy that he has for us, we are to have for others and for ourselves. I feel that. I feel that, because it was just so heavy, and it does get heavy. It's like at some point, I believe a lot of us younger Christians, and I'm starting to develop, I believe, but it's like we have to perform for God. And you're taught growing up, when I was growing up, it's a performance. It's a performance. But that's why, I'm glad people say this, and it didn't really kick in until probably last year, that you need to read the Bible. You need to get a true understanding, and not just in reading the Bible. You need to build a relationship with God, because God can get to you before the Bible and the words in the Bible can. Sometimes even in school, when you read something and you don't necessarily comprehend it, that's why you need to build a relationship. You need to, if you don't know how to pray, you ain't got to be formal. Just start talking. Just start talking to Jesus. Start talking to God. Talk to your Father. That's it. But my thing is, the more you do that, the more you'll develop. The more you seek it, the more you'll begin to age in the spirit. And aging spiritually is very different from physicality. It is. It doesn't have, you don't get the wear and tear of, well, yes, you kind of do. Because, I mean, in order to age, you got to go through some things. You got to go through some wars. You got to go through some tests and some trials and some tribulations. And you may not be able to see it spiritually, but it's kind of the same. Physically, you see the aging, and spiritually, you will see and you will feel the aging. And you'll begin to understand, oh my God, where I was back then, I'm not there no more. And you'll think that it's because of life lessons. No, it's because your spirit is getting is getting a little bit more knowledge, and you know how to handle some things now. But some people, they don't, they don't operate spiritually, even though we're all spiritual beings. But when I say spirit, because TDJ said something in the sermon, well, this Sunday, and I believe in Jesus. Let me go ahead and say that I believe in God. He has many names. El Shaddai, I think Elohim. I remember writing down some names, but I can't remember them. I got them in one of my books. I love this book. It's like a leather. I love it. It's cool. It's cool. But no, hold up. Hope it ain't the Rona. Anyway, I mean, yes, just I believe there was so much that God wanted to release in spiritually undeveloped. But what I'm saying is, though you may not know it now, it's not that much. It's not that much of an issue. Don't pressure yourself. God will get to you, and don't shrug away. Don't try to push away conviction. Don't try to push away true knowledge. Let it happen. Let it happen. Let God come to you. And then also don't just put yourself where God has to keep coming to you. Go to him. Go to him. Read the word. Pray. Live better. Treat people good. Treat yourself good. Show God that you want him in your life. You want goodness to be around you. And that goes, understand that where you are in life, everyone is not in that same position. That's really all I guess I wanted to say, is that we are all in different seasons, different strokes for different folks, and your conviction is not someone else's conviction. Judge the speck in your own eye first before you can sit around. And even when you have judged your own, keep looking put your nose in your business. And yes, we are to convict people, but also we are to show mercy. Some people, they want to play God and be like, you need to stop doing this and you need to stop doing that. Girl, if anybody has ever really genuinely had a struggle, do your best. Do your best, and your best comes with effort. Your best comes with discipline, and comes with saying no more. And sometimes when you say no more, the first 50 times you the first 50 times, it may be discouraging, because you was like, I thought I was done with it. But then that's when you dust yourself off and you try again, because this might not be accurate, but I promise you, God is looking at the posture of your heart when you do this, because it's like, look at I feel that. It's like, look at my child. It's like, look at them just going, just at least trying. And that's something so big that I think we lose. At least try. At least try. Don't let these days go by and not have tried to do something. Oh my God. You can't win if you don't even attempt to do it. But you will fail if you don't. if you do nothing. Come on now. And I guess, hey, this is very encouraging. If at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. That's prophetess Aaliyah. Come on now. Oh my God. But I hope I touched on everything, because it's really a lot. It is a lot. But to be compassionate and sympathetic and empathetic of believers and non-believers, neutral parties. I don't know how you could be neutral, because either you do or you don't. But I'm trying to, in this world where we trying to make a in-between of everything, it is what it is. So yeah, it's not so much as a rush, but it's really a heart posture. It's your mindset. It's what you believe. It's what you believe. And this is for the people who feel as if they'll never get it right. They'll never be the perfect Christian, or they'll never be perfect for men. You don't listen. Your job is not here to please man. There are so many Pharisees in this world where if you're not doing it this way, then you're not right. You're not good. And honestly, it's the judgment of it all. It's the self-judgment. It's not even it surpasses conviction. And at some point it's just like, girl, you condemning yourself at this point. When God is so merciful and so kind, but also wrathful, which I love. I love knowing that my God doesn't play games, you know? It's an amazing feeling is to understand and just be like, wrath, anger. But I mean, whatever you're struggling with, whatever you see and you think or you believe and God is impressing upon you, know that he gave you enough strength, and he is with you in the bad, he is with you in the good, he is with you when you're not even with him. God is faithful. God does not bear false witness. God is not going to leave you, because that's in his word, and he cannot be contradictory to his word. And so, I read that today. I think it was this morning. So I hope I said everything I needed to say, and please don't mind my look. I feel so homely. I really do. But I think that's just another form of peace. Like when you don't care what people have to say, it doesn't matter. God will transcend this look into something that's boing, where I just look like a whole $1 million worth of snacks. Okay. Jesus, I hope I said what I needed to say, because there's somebody out there, even myself, I had to realize this. Oh Lord. And I want to say this. I made a status on Facebook about it, because I guess that just goes back to it, doing your best. People with depression and people who don't know what to do with their life, just keep trying and stop looking to everyone. I know it's easier when people can tell us what to do, but look inward and think about the things of life that you love. Take one of those things, if and especially if it's something you can perform, it's something you can do. If you like listening to people, offer that service. If you like talking to people, do something that you can talk to people about. If you like doing something artistically, go do that. If you like, whatever the case might be, if you want to farm, go start the farm and start selling some produce or something. I don't know if produce is meat or if I think produce is meat. But my point is, do your best. Try. If you do not try, you will not have a chance at success. And so, yeah, that's where I come from with that, because a lot of times we're depressed because, and this is just me, of the expectations of everyone else. We're depressed because we're trying to be something that we're not, and we're trying to live a life that wasn't designed for us. And I mean, honestly, that's I don't see any other explanation beyond it. There is no chemical imbalance that God can't fix or help or come into contact with and change the trajectory of it. There is nothing that God can't do, even for the least, even for the people who reject him. My thing is, we were all made in his image, and God loves every single one of us. And so with that being said, keep that in mind. And know that whether you love him or not, he loves you. So, spiritually underdeveloped or not, there's going to come a time where God will be trying to show himself to you. And God will be putting you in these situations that will test you, that will aid you spiritually, and you not know. But then at that time, God is going to start requiring more from you, because you're going to know more. And I guess that really is for the Christians, because you cannot say you're a Christian, or you cannot say you believe in God and still be doing the same thing that you were doing the first time you said, yes, Lord. 2 years have passed and you still doing the same thing. 3 years, 5 years, 10 years have passed, and you still doing the same thing that you was doing before you got saved, or even at the moment you got saved. Girl, bye. Something ain't right. You stagnated in your growth, and we gotta help that. We gotta get that under check. So, and I mean, hey, like I said, that doesn't mean that you won't. You know, God said try. God said do your best. I think God said it. It's in the Bible. Somebody said it. So that's going to be the end of this video. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, comment, follow, whatever platform it is. Do all of those lovely things for me, please. And stay positive. Keep it with you. Spread it wherever you go. My name is Blue. Not my real name. If you didn't know, love yourself and love others. I am out. What hand do I want to do the peace sign with? This one? I wish there was a cross that I could do, but whatever. That's too